Good afternoon, Abbotsford residents. I'm Mr. Pelican. I'm going to run for mayor of Abbotsford to bring the RCMP in. I want to speak to you today about the federal Conservatives. Pierre Poilievre did a post with this candidate, Sukhman Gill, and said, "We need your help." That means all Conservatives here in Abbotsford, to help get behind this candidate no matter what lie is spread out there. Mike jONG is not a Conservative. He's a Liberal. He's tied to Marion Keyes at the Federal Libs, Bobby Sparks, Alex Mitchell, and Abbotsford's Liberal parties here. Mike jONG was never a Conservative. Let's make that clear. Ed Fast did a post today on Facebook, and I want to talk to Ed Fast about the grassroots Conservatives. Ed Fast was originally behind John Charest for the leadership, and he backed him. When John Charest lost as a Liberal and Pierre Poilievre received the endorsement to be the Conservative leader for the party, Ed Fast, I believe, started to stick a knife in the federal Conservative and undermine Pierre Poilievre because he didn't get his way. Mike jONG used the Abbotsford Chamber of Commerce, Alex Mitchell, and you can see right now, nobody knows if she's been removed or kicked off, for full endorsement of the business community of Abbotsford. He used Eric Nivel, his financial agent, which is the sponsor on the bottom of his signs, to put his signs all through the public parks of Abbotsford illegally and on the senior care homes to get the advantage of the votes. He used the Downtown Business Association to advertise his advertising in belief that they were running his face, the banks, the financial institutions. So when you drive by, it's looking that the financial institutions are running Mike jONG, which is illegal. You're not allowed to do that. He used the Fraser Valley Indo Association, which Mike is tied to Dave Sadu. He helped him get the city chair, and Marcus Dalvis, that's our president on that, which is a non-profit, and they're not allowed to endorse to help him. He has the whole Downtown Business Association behind him, which is illegal. You can see everybody scattering from what's coming because it will mean that there has to be criminal investigations, election loading, and fraud. This is what took place. Henry Braun was the engine behind a mastermind plan, and Darren Braun opened it. Henry tried to end my life. Abbotsford residents, along with the Mission RCMP, changed the outcome of why I stand here today. Ed Fast, the MP, covered that for Henry Braun. Of a democracy, I ran for mayor to be a voice. Alex Mitt, the Chamber of Commerce, Greg Toes, tried to bribe me that I would sit idle, he would reimburse me and everything else in 4 years to run. He was taking away your vote from being in the democracy in the debates. The BC Conservatives found that out, and these candidates found that out and would not go to the chamber. So when Ed Fast stands up and says this candidate never showed up to the end of the debates because it was establishment's debate and there was no fairness and it wasn't about a democracy. It was what Ed can bellyache. Ed's bellyaching about there's two Conservative candidates running in Abbotsford is a lie. Pierre Poilievre made it clear there's only one candidate under his logo and his brand, and that is Sukhman Gill. Mike jONG copyrighted the Conservatives' blue logo to confuse the voters. He's done everything there is illegal to confuse Abbotsford residents, and Ed Fast went along it. Mike jONG was never recognized as a Conservative, never been branded as a Conservative, never had the green light from the Conservatives, and there's only one Conservative candidate running out of the two, and that is Sukhman Gill. Mike jONG is not recognized by anybody as a Conservative. Ed Fast is a bull-faced liar. Whether Ed posted that or his daughter Carmen posted it, maybe Carmen should have ran for the MP position instead of Mike jONG. Mike jONG has cheated over all the candidates, the Liberals, the PPC party, and every candidate and the Conservatives. He branded himself beside the Conservatives with Ed Fast saying the Conservatives are saying this, and Mike's a Conservative, Mike's this, Mike's that, trying to make the Abbotsford residents believe that Mike jONG's a real Conservative. He's never been a Conservative. Marion Keyes is a federal Liberal, and she's tied to the Liberals, and this is who Mike jONG has at his rallies and his party. Bobby Sparks and it just went on. Alex Mitchell and it went on. But Mike DeYoung took advantage of cheating. Mike DeYoung knew Henry controlled the Abbotsford News to shield all these little things that would wreck him in scandals. And he knew that Vicky Hopes and Abbotsford's Ken would cover it till Darren Brown told. So ladies and gentlemen, let's make it clear. Abbotsford residents were cleared by Pierre Poilievre that he needs your help. There's only one candidate. Mike DeYoung has done everything with Ed Fast to undermine the federal Conservatives, Pierre Poilievre's message and his leadership. The polls are very close. Every seat counts for the Conservatives to foreign government. With Ed Fast and Mike DeYoung what's doing, with even Mike's full-out cheating, and what I saw by the Royal Bank when the Chamber of Commerce endorsed Ross, how Ross could win by these endorsements and these dirty techniques of Abbotsford. Pierre Poilievre will make it clear that Mike DeYoung, with all this cheating, and if he doesn't form government to run as Prime Minister of Canada, he will never forgive Ed Fast. That I can tell you, because Abbotsford's true Conservatives are not forgiving Ed Fast for what he's doing and his bull-faced lies. There's no Conservative candidates, and Ed Fast needs to retract that statement because the party only put one forward. And his Facebook's misleading people, and it's a lie, and it's an outright lie. And Ed Fast doesn't know if he needs to be checked into the mental institution or be investigated, like I said. But what he's done in Abbotsford is unbelievable, and nobody has any respect for Ed Fast, not even me. Now, make it clear to Abbotsford voters that are running around in a haze. There is only one candidate recognized in brand in Abbotsford, two if you're counting Brad Viss, but only one. And Ed Fast is gone so off the edge with his mentalness. He's endorsing Brad Viss, which is a Conservative, and people are saying he's got Brad Viss. That means we got to go Conservatives. That's what it means, Conservatives. I made it clear yesterday on the podcast. It's either about Ron Funkaddiverse and Henry's illegal stuff he was doing to own Abbotsford, or it was about racism. I'm calling on Abbotsford Conservatives and Abbotsford residents to step forward and help the Conservative Party and vote for Pierre Poilievre. That means you got to vote for Brad Viss and you got to vote for Sukhman Gill. And we'll get the doors open into Abbotsford, what was taking place. Cooper's Farm will get open. We'll get the Mackenzie Bog. We'll get Ron Funks, and we'll get these things all open that Henry Braun was. And I guarantee you, like Darren Braun said, you'll find Ed's and Henry's ties in there. I've made many videos showing you that the four leaders that were put on the newspaper, Henry Brown, Ed Fast, Mike DeYoung, are not leaders, and George Perry. We see the endorsement by the BC Conservatives, needing to form government at the federal level, and Conservatives are stick together. Bruce Banman started this wave when he went over to the BC Conservatives and left the Liberals. And we see Bruce Banman endorse the federal Conservatives, Pierre Poilievre too, which sent shockwaves, and everybody saw that. To Abbotsford voters, make no mistake what Ed Fast is doing. Ed Fast was tied to Jean Charest, which was a Liberal, and he wanted him in. He lost the leadership, Pierre Poilievre got it, and Ed Fast started undermining Pierre Poilievre's every move he made. Then he brought forward this man that's full-blown out cheating. If you want, drive by his office in Little Oak Mall and you can see him. He's got the bank signs, he's got everything that the Chamber of Commerce works in the business community that's all illegal, endorsing him and helping him to win the votes and figuring when I'm in, I can walk over into the Conservatives. I believe what Ed Fast and Mike DeYoung has done, and Henry Brown, Mike DeYoung will never see the Conservative Party. He will never see nothing to do with the Conservative, because I want to make something very clear to you. The NDP leader, Jagmeet Singh said, as harsh as it is, you can never trust a Liberal. That there is a Liberal for what he did. That there is a Liberal for allowing Henry to get in his car and try to end my life. That there is a Liberal that stood by when the Chamber of Commerce blocked the city auditorium to load Ross Siemens. Now they cry that these candidates won't come out to debate at their little shithole gatherings and what they put together. The truth hurts, but the truth has to be forward for Abbotsford residents. Sukhman Gill is a true conservative. Steve Schaefer, who ran for the nomination, was a true conservative, and he'll support the Conservative Party. It was Mike jONG, Ed Fast, Henry Brown, Dave Sidhu, Alex Mitchell, and Great Toes that were jamming him, and he didn't get the leadership, and Sukhman Gill got that thing. There is only one candidate brand by the federal Conservatives, and Ed Fast is a bull-faced liar, and that is the man that carries the Conservative name and the Conservative vote, not Mike jONG. And Mike jONG is copywriting everything, and everything the Conservatives are doing, and Ed's trying to spin it and confuse people and think Abbotsford residents are stupid. They're not in touch with what's going on. I can play these games. Not no more, Ed. It's time to pack up. And as mayor of Abbotsford, the first thing I said, I'll bring the RCMP investigations units in, and you watch Rob Funk scare because Darren Brown showed. Then you watch how fast I pull Ed Fast's house that was fast-tracked for Henry Brown by Henry Brown when he was the mayor over everybody else and what Ed got. It's time to recognize Abbotsford residents. These leaders of Abbotsford were about themselves, and they're even undermining the leaders of the party. Not even the Liberals are doing this stuff. But Jagmeet Singh made it clear. Trust no Liberal. Mike jONG is a Liberal. The only good thing about Mike jONG is he's got no hair to pull out as he sits there going crazy in his office. But the Conservatives have to promise Abbotsford, and the Liberals have to promise, and all political parties have to promise Abbotsford residents, because due to the threats, the Mike jONG's cheating will be going under Elections Canada, and there's enough, more than enough, to strip him out of that position. Mike believes, through Henry and Ed, they got enough political players to walk him in, and a bold-faced cheating. Ed Fast's statement is a lie, a bold-faced lie. There's only one Conservative candidate running, and he should be slapped with a lawsuit of making statements like that, because you can't go around and put Leadcore on your trucks. You can't put Intertech on your trucks. You can't put another company's logo without their consent. There's only one candidate in Abbotsford. Pierre Poilievre said to Abbotsford, we need your help. Don't split the votes. Don't divide the votes. But we have to be grassroots Conservatives. I didn't like the nomination outcome either, but I'm willing to back my party, Pierre Poilievre. As Stephen Harper said, there's only one on that vote to get Canada back on track, and that is Pierre Poilievre. Vote the candidate in, ladies and gentlemen, and tell Ed Fast his statements are bull-faced lies, and he should have maybe asked his daughter Carmen to run. I'm live here at the Conservative qualified candidate, recognized candidate, the candidate that's put forward by the Conservative, Sukhman Gill, Abbotsford, British Columbia.